Hi, welcome to today's video. My name is Jeff,
I'm Nina.
and today we're going to teach you the connection between two dance partners in swing dancing. And to give you a bit of background, the swing dance that we enjoy so much today is a legacy left behind by amazing dancers at the Savoy Ballroom.
Yeah, so the Savoy Ballroom was a dance hall in Harlem in New York. And it opened in 1926, which was also around the time when swing dancing was rising in popularity. It was a place where the famous Lindy Hop was born under the influence of very iconic and legendary dancers such as Norma Miller, Sugar Sullivan,
Frankie Manning.
Just to mention a few. Those are very important names to us, and as a community we admire them and we treasure them. At the time, Savoy Ballroom was also a place where all the finest jazz musicians performed, such as Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Benny Goodman, Cab Calloway, just to mention a few. Savoy was more than just a place where people went to dance and to socialize or to listen to live music. It was actually a very, very special place that was way ahead of its time, and this was because it was the New York's first integrated ballroom with a non-discrimination policy. This meant that whether you were black or white, old or young, rich or poor, female or male, everybody was welcome, and people only cared about your dancing skills. So if you were to walk in there, if you were going to go back in time and walk into the Savoy Ballroom, it's guaranteed that you would find a partner to dance with.
And dancing is a language that they all speak, the one that we speak. It transcends gender, politics, and race. And so in order to communicate well in dancing, you have to know how to connect with your partner. And that's what we're going to show you today. And it forms the basis of swing dancing. Yeah, so let's get started.
So, first thing you need to know about is that every partner dance, including swing dancing, has two very distinct roles: a lead and a follow. A lead initiates moves, whereas a follow interprets moves. Anyone can do both. Swing dancers are highly encouraged to learn both at some point. A lot of our members in our community are what we call ambidextrous.
Yeah, that means that they can do both, and it's important also for improving yourself as a dancer, because if you started off as a follow, and if you understand or go on to learn the intricacy and the difficulties of being a lead, then you can be a better follow. And the same way around, if you started off as a lead and you learn the difficulties of being a follow and the tricks of being a follow, then you can become a better lead. And there are also dance moves where the role switches in the middle of the dance. And these are quite fun to do. So for example, I could start off the dance as a follow, and the lead or I could initiate a switch, and then I become the lead. And these are quite fun to do, and you can also show off your dancing skills as a lead and follow. It also adds more variety to your dance as well.
Yeah, as a society, throughout the year we offer switching workshops as the year progresses, so you'll definitely be learning it at some point.
But if you start off, if we're just starting off, just pick one that you're more comfortable with, and when you're more comfortable and you're more confident, then you can think about learning the other one.
Yeah, so me and Jeff can more or less, I'm talking about myself, do both. But just for today, for this lesson, Jeff is gonna lead, I'm gonna follow.
Yeah. Let's begin. Right, so the first thing we're going to show you is the closed position. It's the preferred starting position for swing dancing. Of course, you can start in other positions as well. But for beginners, it's a very important position to learn. A lot of moves stem from the closed position. And to do it,
follows. First things first, you will raise your arms, stretch your arms out in the air.
And the lead, put your arm like this, bend it at the elbow, and place it behind the follow's back. So your palm should rest between the shoulder blades. If you are taller than your follow, then it may be a bit higher or lower depending on the height difference. Yeah. But yeah, between the shoulder blades is a good start.
And follows, what you're gonna do next is drop your arms, and then you're gonna take your left arm, just this one here, and you're gonna place it on your lead's either shoulder or back of the shoulder, depending on how tall they are or how short or long your arm is. It doesn't matter too much as long as your elbows are connected in some way.
A good test for it is grab a piece of paper and put it between your elbows. Now, I just want to mention your elbows don't have to be exactly aligned. Right now, Nina's on my forearm. Her elbow is on my forearm, and that's fine too. The most important thing is that they are connected, and so that Nina can read my moves and my intentions. Right, now that you know the basics of getting into the closed position, one thing you should keep in mind is that you don't want to be too far away from your partner or too squished, too close to your partner. It should be comfortable. Your arms don't want to feel stretched or squished. The exact distance between you two depends on the height difference and also the arm length of you and your partner.
So once both of you find a comfortable position, another thing to keep in mind for follows is that you don't grip too much on your lead's shoulder because it's not very comfortable for them. And another tip for leads, is that you don't relax your arm too much so that it slides low down.
It's rude and also inappropriate. So keep it up high, keep it between the shoulder blades. It can move around as you dance, but this is fine.
And like we talked about, like in a piece of paper example, don't squeeze your elbows too much.
Yeah, just relax. Dance should be relaxed. Don't tense. I know that a lot of beginners, including myself when I first started, are very tense. I still am sometimes. So yeah, just relax. So as Nina mentioned before, the lead initiates move and the follow interpret the move that the lead wants to do. As a little exercise, now that you're in close position, is for the lead to move the follow around. But before you start, make sure you have no obstructions in front of you or behind you and that you've got clear space. So lead, try moving your follow forward, and follow, please don't anticipate the move. And now move it backwards and forward again. Lead, you may realize that you are pushing the follow forward with your right arm, but it should be a suggestion. It shouldn't be a hard push. It's very uncomfortable for the follow. And the follow, you'll be reading the moves from the back, the arm, and also the hand that you have on the lead. Yeah, which is especially important when I'm moving backwards, because Nina's elbow is feeling that I'm going backwards. If Nina doesn't have her elbow touching my forearm, so it lifts it off, if I go backwards, it's very hard for her to read. But if her elbow is connected to me, then it's much easier. The next thing you could do is for the lead to turn to follow. First, let's do it anti-clockwise, so towards this direction. So you just watch like this, and I can stop, and I can start again, and we can stop. Now the other direction, so we're turning anti-clockwise, and stop, and turn, stop.
Once you're comfortable doing that, the next thing you can do follows. You can actually close your eyes, and if you trust your lead enough, he can move you around the room without saying anything. So if you want, we can demonstrate.
Yes, we can demonstrate. Feel free to pause the video and practice a bit in your own rooms. Yeah, let's have a look. You can do it as fast or as slow as you want to. Just make sure that you're comfortable.
So once you've had a little go at that, we're going to move on to doing some 6-count Lindy Hop basic steps with a partner in this closed position. Our secretary Doug has made a video explaining the 6-count basic step. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, have a look at it first and familiarize yourself with it, and then come back to this.
Yeah. And so to start the dance, you need to be relaxed. So make sure your knees are bent, that you can bounce on your knees. Your shoulders are relaxed, arms relaxed. You don't want to be too tight. Okay. A way to get into the bent knee position is, if you think about it, if you jump, when you land, your knees naturally absorb the impact. And you want your knees to be able to bounce when you dance, so that you can follow the beat of the music and do all the moves without hurting your legs or look too tense. Yeah. So get into closed position. Sorry. Yeah. And imagine you are at the jazz lounge with a dance floor, and here you are with your partner, and now you're in closed position. And you both feel the beat of the music. And in this closed position, the follow is able to feel the beat of the lead, and the lead is also able to feel the beat of the follow. And this way, we are now in sync, and now we can communicate a lot better. So back to then doing the basics, 6-count basic. Just to remind you, it's rock, step, triple step, and then repeat itself.
And again and again and again.
Right. So to start again, bend your knees, feel a bit relaxed, and 5, 6, 7, rock, step, triple step, triple step, rock, step, triple step, triple step. You should be very relaxed, and you should be able to feel the bounce of your partner. If I'm too tense, what does it feel like? You can't feel my beat, you can't feel the rhythm.
No, it actually shortens, it disrupts the rhythm completely.
Yeah. So basically relax. I do realize that a lot of beginners start off quite tense. I am still tense sometimes, but eventually you'll become a lot more relaxed. So forgot to mention, take your time to practice it a bit. Pause the video or whatever.
At any point
Yeah. If you don't understand something, hopefully you understand what we're saying. Feel free to go back and listen to it again, and practice with your partner the basics and dancing together. So hopefully you've got some practice in, and you're a bit more confident with doing the basic with your partner. To go on to something a little bit more advanced, and to give you all a bit of context in the connection that we have, the lead would be able to dictate how big the basic step is. So for example, let's say the dance floor is very, very narrow, very small, there are a lot of people around you. You don't want your follow to bash into some other couple. So you could lead a very small basic, like so. Or if there's a lot of room, or the music is, you feel that the music gives you the permission to become a lot more wild. Go. So yeah, you can see, I know I did mention it to Nina, but even if I don't speak, she would still be able to tell that I want a bigger or smaller basic.
And I can tell this from his hand on my back, pushing me forward.
And also from the elbow when I want to triple step back. And to be honest, a lot of the time, the music tells you as well. And whether you're follow or lead, don't be afraid to express yourself by how the music tells you to express yourself.
Embrace your inner flapper or dancer.
Yes, exactly.
And get your groove on.
Woohoo! Yes. And to give you a bit more context on a more difficult move, still a quite a basic move, which you will learn quite early on, is called the tuck turn. Of course, you can do basic for the whole dance, and you can make it more exciting, but chances are you will learn much better moves or much more exciting moves when you attend the lessons. So this is just to show you what the connection does in initiating moves and interpreting moves. So yeah, don't worry if you don't quite understand or quite follow what we're doing. We just want you to understand how we're doing it. So the tuck turn looks like this. From a different angle. That's a tuck turn. As you can see, Nina is spinning, and she's spinning because I encourage her to spin. There are also other nuances and signals I'm giving her to tell her this is the move that I would like to do. First thing, for example, is that on the rock step, I'm rotating my body, and she can feel this rotation as well. We're just exaggerating some of the moves. On a dance floor, you don't usually see such exciting moves unless people want to, and if it's a style. We're just showing you what it looks like and feels like.
And for example, I can feel him telling me what to like sway, I guess.
Rotate sway,
more through by pressing a bit on using the ball of his palm.
Yeah, the heel of my palm onto your back.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a forceful move. I'm just doing it, and she can feel it. Yeah, it's surprising how much you can read from your partner just by these two points of contact. And after the rotation, we're now face to face, because the rotation during the rotation we have a connection, and this tension has to be released, and so we are now face to face. And I would like Nina to turn clockwise, and to do this I use my right hand, which is now on the edge of her back, and I'm sort of turning her like so into this position. Again, it's more of encouragement. I don't force my follow to do anything, and nor should you. And follow, you can add anything you want. For example, during the turn here, you don't have to stop right here. You can spin more, and then catch my hand. Yeah, like so. Yeah. This is the dancing is a form of, like we said before, communication, and everyone should be able to dictate what they want to do.
And when you're practicing with your partner, feedback is also important. So follow if you didn't, if there's something that the lead could do a little better to signal you, let him or her know. And same for leads, if there's something that the follow could work on a little better, then let them know as well.
And then it's only through feedback that you can learn what you could do better or what you were doing incorrectly.
So we just finished our tuck turn, and we ended up facing each other in this position, which is called an open position as opposed to closed position. Yes? And so in this position, the only communication and leading and following comes from these two hands, as opposed to a hand on the follow's back and elbows.
And on my shoulder as well. Yeah, and so this makes it a lot more difficult because everything you want to tell the follow to do will now be on this hand. And this makes it very important to watch your frame. This is what we mean. So let's say my frame isn't good. I'm too relaxed. I'm too wobbly. I don't have a good frame. But watch what happens when we rock step. She can't read what I'm doing. I can't read what she's doing. Try again.
It just feels very lazy.
It's very lazy.
And like sloppy.
And I can imagine that if the music is a bit faster, it could actually hurt our shoulders because we'll be doing this. So you want to keep a good frame. So your shoulders should be square. Of course, there are moves that require you to turn your shoulder, but just keep your shoulders strong, not tense, but you know.
Yeah. At the same time, it's important that you're not too tense.
Yeah.
Because when one or both dancers are tense, this is what happens.
It's not really tense. Yeah. It doesn't feel good. I think you can feel when you're doing it right. I know we're telling you a lot of contradictory messages. Don't be too tense. Be relaxed. Don't be too relaxed. Be tense. You know. Just there is a perfect middle ground. This is what it should look like. So you can see our shoulders aren't like this.
Yeah.
We have a good frame. We also not too tense like so. I mean, there are moves, I guess, that with fast music you can go like so, but this is not what we're talking about. It's good to learn the basics and how it feels first before we move on to something more complicated. So another thing to look out for, not just your shoulders, are the elbows. Yeah, the elbows.
I think we briefly mentioned this before when we're saying don't be too relaxed. What we're saying is don't straighten your elbows because
it can hurt.
It can hurt. So it's important that you keep even when you're rock stepping, you keep your elbow at least a little bit bent.
Mm-hmm. And another reason is in this position, and actually a lot of positions, is that the rubber band sort of elasticity tension between the two partners is very important. For example, Lena's rock stepping backwards, and so am I. And there is now a bit of a sort of rubber band tension here, so which brings her back to me. If there is no tension, if our shoulders are too relaxed, I mean, I'm not sure how well you can read me, or if you're too relaxed.
It's kind of painful now.
Sorry. Stop doing that. Yeah. Don't do this with your partners right now. Yeah, it could hurt them a bit. So yeah, check on your partners if you can.
Yeah, feedback.
Yeah,
like we discussed before.
Yeah. So once her shoulders or my shoulders are too relaxed, there's now no elasticity anymore. And so there can be no communication. The same way if we're too tense, and there's not really any any leeway. There's no, we can't communicate. Or if if the lead or the follows elbow is straight, then you've lost any kind of elasticity. You want to keep them a bit bent. I've heard someone said before, princess arms. So you're going around like this.
But not T-Rex arms or chicken wings.
No T-Rex arms. This is bad. It's very bad. So, so something like this. Again, it depends on the height difference between your partner and you yourself.
I mean, let's switch. Let me be a lead and see what happens.
Yeah, let's just wait.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so our elbows are not too tense, and our shoulders are well framed. And if we're too tense,
you really had butted me.
Sorry, don't try that at home. So this is an exercise you could try with your partner. All we're doing was just rock, step, pause, rock, step, pause. And you do want to feel the bounce between you and your partner. And you also want to watch out for the tension in the arm. Again, you don't want to be too tense, because then there's no communication. It's really horrible.
Yeah.
And also
jarring.
Jarring as well. Don't be too relaxed. We're not going to do it here because her shoulder is going to hurt a bit more. So yeah, don't be too relaxed. Don't be too tense. Feel the elasticity between you and your partner. Almost feel like there's a rubber band between you two.
Mm-hmm.
You pull them apart and it comes back together. Pull them apart and it comes back together.
Also, trust your partner, especially follows. You have to put some trust in your lead. When you're in open position, you don't need to grip on their hand.
Yeah, true.
This is just fine. You don't want to be too loose. You don't want to be like this, but then you don't want to be gripping on them because that's very, very uncomfortable for them,
Mm-hmm.
the lead.
It's also very hard to do any other moves if they're gripping too tight.
Yes.
For example, if I want to turn my follow, if she's gripping really tight, it's really hard to turn. What it should look like is this, like so. Just to give you guys a bit more context about the importance of body connection and communication through your body parts. We're going to show you a few dance moves, a bit like what's going to happen in social dancing. Nina has no idea what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is just lead her, and she has to interpret what I want her to do. And yeah, let's begin.
Go.
Yeah. So imagine there is music very quiet. We do small basics. And the band comes in, and then it goes quiet again. I should stop talking so you have no idea what I'm talking. Just to prove a point that she can read my body language. And now we're in open, like we've shown you before. We could do something like this, or something like this. And I can also turn the shoulders. And she can read it all fine, without me telling her what I want her to do.
And we're back.
You also use the hips. And there are also other places you could lead as well. For example, variation on tuck turn. I'm now grabbing her elbow and make a turn. So there are many things you could try to do when you get a bit more comfortable with the basics of swing dance. It may sound cheesy, but it is a form of expression. You all have your own style, when you become more comfortable with swing dancing. Yeah, I hope this is a good introduction. Insight into partner dancing.
Yeah, we realize this is the first of our introductory series where you actually see two people dancing. So this whole video was meant to show you what the steps would look like in this kind of context.
Yeah. We should give them something to try at home. Yeah. So we give you homework to do. So what should we do? Basics in circles.
Basics in circles.
Yeah. So as you should know by now, the 6 count, basic, and the close position that we've shown you before. Try to do this at home with your partner. Again, watch out for any obstructions on the floor or around you. What we would like you to do is just do the 6 count basics in circles. It's easier if you do them smaller.
Yeah,
it's easier to control.
Yeah, and just you'll see how Jeffrey will lead me, but just use your hand gestures.
Yeah, and also I'll be using my whole body.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about what we feel and what we're doing as we're doing it.
So I can feel Jeffrey's body telling me to turn
clockwise.
Yeah, clockwise. I can tell this from mostly from his upper torso, kind of swaying a little bit from side to side. But he's also pressing on my back a little bit.
So the main thing here is after I'm rock stepping, I'm triple stepping in front of my photo. There she can feel that I'm getting close, and at the same time, I'm also turning her with this part here. So I'm turning her like this, except my body is also parallel to hers. So just do it slowly from a different angle. From this angle, for example, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now I'm in front of her. I'm now in front of her. I'm now in front of her, and I'm sort of taking her around me. So you can imagine that the center of the spin is between us two. So yeah, like so. So try this at home. Try to turn clockwise. You can try anti-clockwise, but for now, just try clockwise for now.
Yeah. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you in the lessons.
Yeah. Have fun.